Hi, welcome to another class on macroeconomics, Unit 5. We are doing Unit 5 right now, and let's continue with the class. So, you have already studied what are different markets, how interest rate affects your exports and net foreign investment. Today, we are going to see how policies and even um, wait. How policies and events affect an open economy, government budgets, deficits. Okay, let's begin. Now let's consider the effect of a budget deficit in an open economy. बजट डेफिसिट होता क्यों है? फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज दिस कि आपके जो बजट में डेफिसिट होता है वो क्यों होता है? See, deficit always happens because you spend more than what you earn, right? अब डेफिसिट होने का ये रीजन भी हो सकता है that savings of that country, of that economy is not very high, and that is why the government has a deficit. क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट के पास जो सेविंग्स है वो सफिशिएंट ही नहीं है उसके एक्सपेंडिचर के लिए, तो वो एक्सेस एक्सपेंडिचर कर देता है जबकि उसके पास पैसे नहीं होते हैं, तो इस वजह से डेफिसिट क्रिएट होता है. So first, which curve in our model shifts? As in a closed economy, the initial impact of the budget deficit is on national savings and therefore on the supply for loanable funds. So budget deficit is on national saving. पहला initial impact उसी पे होता है national savings पे. And अगर savings कम हो गया है तो आपका जो supply curve for loanable funds है वो भी कम हो जाएगा. Second, which way does the supply curve shift? Again, as in a closed economy, a budget deficit represents negative public saving, so it reduces national savings and shifts the supply curve for loanable funds to the left. So, obviously, अगर supply of the money has decreased, तो आपका जो supply curve है, it will shift towards the left hand side because there has been a decrease in supply. This is shown in the shift. This is shown as shift from S1 to S2 in panel A of figure 18.5. Our third and the final step to compare the old and new equilibria. Panel A shows the impact of US budget deficit on the US market for loanable funds. With fewer funds available for borrowers in US financial market, the interest rate rises from R1 to R2. देखो यहाँ क्या लिखा है कि there is fewer fund available for borrowers in US financial market. Thus the interest rate rises from R1 to R2. So basically funds का demand है market में but fund ही नहीं है. So in order to take care of the demand, the interest rate is rising so that people stop demanding the money because there is not sufficient supply. Faced with a higher interest rate, borrowers in the market for loanable funds choose to borrow less. This change is represented in the figure as movement from point A to point B along the demand curve for loanable funds. In particular, households and firms reduce their purchases of capital goods. As in a closed economy, budget deficit crowd out domestic investment. तो अगर budget deficit होता है तो उसमें क्या होता है that people are not saving, and that is why if they are not saving, there is not sufficient fund to lend to the investors. जिनको इन्वेस्ट करना उनको इन्वेस्ट करने के लिए पैसे ही नहीं होते हैं बैंक्स के पास. So that is why it leads to budget deficit crowd out domestic investment. So in an economy, however, the reduced supply of loanable fund has additional effect. Panel B shows that The increase in the interest rate from R1 to R2 reduces net foreign investment. अभी ये भी क्यों होता है आपको पता है, अगर इंटरेस्ट रेट डोमेस्टिक कंट्री में हाई होता है तो पीपल आर इन्वेस्टिंग इन योर कंट्री, यू योरसेल्फ आर इन्वेस्टिंग इन द कमोडिटीज, द इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स, फाइनेंशियल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स ऑफ योर ओन कंट्री। तो इसीलिए नेट फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट, वो इन्वेस्टमेंट जो आप दूसरी कंट्री में करते हो वो आपका कम रहता है। The fall in net foreign investment is also a part of the decrease in the quantity of loanable funds demanded in the movement from point A to point B in panel A. Because saving kept at home now earns higher rate of interest, rate of return, investing abroad is less attractive and domestic residents buy fewer foreign assets. Higher interest rate also attract foreign investors who want to earn higher return in US assets, correct? Thus, when budget deficit raise interest rate, both the domestic and foreign behavior causes US net foreign investment to fall. So जब budget deficit interest rate को increase कर देता है, raise कर देता है, तो both domestic as well as foreign behavior causes US net foreign investment to fall. तो US का जो foreign investment है वो घट जाता है when there is a deficit. तो ये आपका एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रीजन होता है फॉर लो इन्वेस्टमेंट, फॉर लो नेट फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट। पैनल सी shows how budget deficit affects the market for foreign currency exchange. तो पैनल सी में आप देखोगे कि कैसे budget deficit will affect the market of foreign currency exchange. Because net foreign investment is reduced, people need less foreign currency to buy foreign assets, and this induces a leftward shift in the supply curve for dollars from S1 to S2. क्योंकि आप अभी इन्वेस्ट नहीं कर रहे हो फॉरेन मार्केट में, तो आपको करेंसी को अपना कन्वर्ट भी नहीं करना है, इसीलिए डॉलर का जो सप्लाई है वो भी नहीं होगा, कब रहेगा। The reduced supply of dollars causes the real exchange rate to appreciate from E1 to E2. Now because डॉलर की सप्लाई कम है, हमारा जो एक्सचेंज रेट है it will increase from E1 to E2. That is डॉलर की जो वैल्यू है it will appreciate. Why? Because see अभी क्या है ना कि people are demanding dollar, but supply डॉलर की नहीं है, क्योंकि US इन्वेस्ट नहीं कर रहा है, फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं है यूएस की, नेट फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट इज नॉट देयर, सो सप्लाई ऑफ डॉलर्स इज नॉट देयर इन द मार्केट, whereas due to high interest rate other countries are spending in US, तो उससे क्या हो रहा है कि डिमांड फॉर डॉलर इज इंक्रीजिंग। बिकॉज अगर मान लो जापान यूएस में इन्वेस्ट करेगा, वो डॉलर्स में ही इन्वेस्ट करेगा, राइट? तो डॉलर्स में इन्वेस्ट करने के लिए जापान विल डिमांड एक्सचेंज येन फॉर डॉलर्स, तो डॉलर का डिमांड विल ग्रो। नाउ व्हेन द डिमांड फॉर डॉलर हैज रेज्ड but the supply of dollar is not there in the exchange market, it will cause the value of dollar to appreciate. जैसे हर चीज में होता है, प्राइस में भी होता है, जब सप्लाई नहीं होता है और डिमांड ज्यादा होता है तो प्राइस बढ़ जाता है, उसी तरह यहाँ भी वही होगा, क्योंकि सप्लाई नहीं है और डिमांड है तो डॉलर की जो वैल्यू है वो अप्रिशिएट हो जाएगी। और क्या होता है जब अप्रिशिएट होता है, when the value appreciates, तो exports गिर जाएंगे, because other countries will not buy from US anymore, because US products have become very much expensive, because US की जो डॉलर की वैल्यू है वो बहुत बढ़ गई है। तो पहले अगर 80 येन में $1 एक्सचेंज हो रहा था, $1 का कमोडिटी, तो अब वही $1 का कमोडिटी के लिए जापान को 90 येन पे करना होगा, तो जापान को ज्यादा पैसे पे करने होंगे। दिस इज जस्ट एन एग्जांपल टू मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड कि क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे। The reduced supply of dollar causes the real exchange rate to appreciate from E1 to E2. That is, the dollar becomes more valuable to foreign currencies. This appreciation in turn makes US goods more expensive compared to foreign goods because both people at home and abroad switch their purchase away from more expensive US goods exports from the United States fall and imports into the United States rises. तो ये भी आप समझ गए कि एक्सपोर्ट गिर जाता है और इंपोर्ट राइज हो जाता है. For both reasons, US net exports fall. Hence, in an open economy, government budget deficit raise real interest rates, crowd out domestic investment, cause the dollar to appreciate, and push the trade balance towards deficit. तो क्या होता है डेफिसिट की वजह से इन एन ओपन इकोनॉमी गवर्नमेंट बजट डेफिसिट रेज रियल इंटरेस्ट रेट. वी हैव सीन कि इंटरेस्ट रेट इंक्रीज हो जाता है. इंटरेस्ट रेट क्यों इंक्रीज होता है? क्योंकि सेविंग्स नहीं होता है. तो जब सेविंग्स नहीं होते हैं बैंक में तो सप्लाई फॉर लोनेबल फंड इज नॉट देयर, देन द इंटरेस्ट रेट विल इंक्रीज बिकॉज the demand for investment is still there in the market but there is no supply for that loanable fund. The interest rate will increase, so it will crowd out domestic investment, cause the dollar to appreciate. Dollar will appreciate because abhi because rate of interest high hai so people are investing in US का currency का demand is more and supply हो ही नहीं रहा है क्योंकि US is not investing in foreign market and thus push the trade balance towards deficit. Here you can see the diagram. यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो how it is functioning. Real interest rate है, quantity of loanable funds है. पहले S1 था, अब S2 हो गया है. Why you know interest rate has risen. Supply is interest rate high है. So people are not putting money in the bank. If people are not putting money in the bank, supply कम हो रहा है. Supply कम हो रहा है तो interest rate high हो रहा है. Interest rate high नहीं था, supply कम है इसलिए. तो आप and this is all interrelated. You will see the diagram and understand the effects of government budget deficit. When the government runs a budget deficit, it reduces the supply of loanable funds from S1 to S2. The interest rate rises from R1 to R2 because there is no savings. तो savings नहीं है बैंक पे तो loanable fund fall हो रहा है. Supply is falling from S1 to S2. See यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? S1 से S2 पे fall हुआ है. क्यों हुआ है? Because there is no savings. Deficit है तो savings लोग कर नहीं रहे तो बैंक में पैसे ही नहीं है. And there is demand happening. इसीलिए देखो R1 से R2 interest rate rise हो रहा है. It's raising. The interest rate raises from R1 to R2 to balance the supply and demand for loanable funds. In panel B, the higher interest rate reduces net foreign investment. तो जब interest rate high होता है तो what happens? Other countries invest in your country, but you are not investing in other countries. तो आप देख रहे हो कि कैसे आपका इंटरेस्ट रेट राइज हुआ है यहाँ पे. Reduces net foreign investment. Reduced net foreign investment in turn reduces supply of dollar in the market for foreign currency exchange from S1 to S2. तो यहाँ पे देखो S1 से S2 में foreign currency market has reduced. Why? Because there is no foreign investment happening in US. आपने एग्जाम्पल में देखा था कि US is not spending making any foreign investment. So due to that fall, you can see that supply in foreign currency market has also decreased. This fall in the supply of dollars causes the real exchange rate to appreciate. इसकी वजह से जो हमारा real exchange rate है वो क्या हुआ है? Increase हुआ है, appreciate किया है from E1 to E2. The appreciation of the exchange rate pushes the trade balance towards deficit. Trade policy. A government policy that directly influences the quantity of goods and services that a country imports or exports. Trade policy क्या होता है? Government policy that directly influences the quantity of goods and services that a country imports and exports. तो government ये policies बनाते हैं. One common trade policy is a tariff, a tax on imported goods. Another is import quota, a limit on the quantity. See, tariff क्या है? Tax होता है imported goods में. Quota क्या होता है? It is a limit which is set on the quantity of goods that can be produced abroad and sold domestically. Trade policies are common throughout the world, although sometimes they are disguised. For example, the US government has often pressured Japanese automakers to reduce the number of cars they sell in the United States. These so-called voluntary export restrictions are not really voluntary and in a sense are a common import quota. So these are not voluntary, but they are import quota. Let's consider the macroeconomic impact of trade policy. Suppose that the US auto industry, concerned about competition from Japanese automakers, convinced the US government to impose a quota on number of cars that can be imported from Japan. In making their case, lobbyists, in making their case um, for auto industry assert that trade restriction would shrink the size of US trade deficit. Are they right? Our model, as illustrated in figure 18.6, offer an answer. The first step in analyzing the trade policy is to determine which curve shifts. The initial impact of the import restriction is not surprisingly on imports because net exports equals export minus imports. So, as we have seen that in making their case, lobbyists for auto industry assert that trade restriction would shrink the size of the US trade deficit. So why this happens? Because the US will have a restriction on their imports. So उससे क्या होगा that it will not have to pay money for those imports and it will from उसके जो commodities है domestic produced commodities उसकी demand market में बढ़ जाएगी तो यहाँ पे उसकी deficit घट जाएगी. It will decrease its deficit. Our model, as illustrated in 18.6, offers an answer. The first step is in analyzing the trade policy is to determine which curve shifts. The initial impact of the import restriction is not surprisingly on imports. Because net exports equal exports minus imports, the policy also affects net exports. And because net exports are the source of demand for dollars in the market, for foreign currency exchange, the policy affects the demand curve in the market. The second step is to determine which way this demand curve shifts. Because the quota restricts the number of Japanese cars sold in the United States, अभी क्योंकि quota है and that is restricting the quantity of cars which is sold in the United States, it reduces imports at any given real exchange rate. तो क्या होता है? Imports reduce हो जाते हैं, right? Net exports, which equal export minus import, will therefore rise for any given real exchange rate. So net exports will rise because foreigners need dollars to buy US net exports. There is an increased demand for dollars in market for foreign currency exchange. तो क्योंकि हमने import को restrict कर दिया है and हमारा export हो रहा है, तो export में foreigners will need to pay us in dollars, so they will demand dollars and dollar का जो demand है वो increase हो जाएगा. Because foreigners ये हो गया, this increase in demand for dollar is shown in panel C in figure 18.6 as the shift from D1 to D2. The third step is to compare the old and new equilibria. As we can see in panel C, the increase in demand for dollars causes the real exchange rate to appreciate from E1 to E2. तो क्योंकि अभी डिमांड फॉर डॉलर हैज इंक्रीज्ड एंड देयर इज नो सप्लाई, तो इसीलिए एक्सचेंज रेट हैज इंक्रीज्ड. ओके, because nothing has happened in the market for loanable funds in panel A, there is no change in the real interest rate. क्योंकि panel A में कुछ नहीं हुआ, इसके interest rate has not changed. Because there is no change in the real interest rate, there is also no change in net foreign investment shown in panel B. यानी कि इंटरेस्ट रेट भी हाई है, उसमें कोई चेंजेस नहीं आया, वो घटी नहीं है. एंड बिकॉज इंटरेस्ट रेट हाई है तो फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट भी नहीं हुआ है, तो फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट भी वही का वही स्टैग्नेंट है. एंड बिकॉज देयर इज नो चेंज इन नेट फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट, देयर कैन बी नो चेंज इन नेट एक्सपोर्ट्स even though the import quota has reduced imports. So even if the import quota has reduced import, आप import नहीं कर सकते हो, लेकिन आपका export पे कोई असर नहीं पड़ेगा. Why? Because आपकी जो कंट्री की इंटरेस्ट रेट है काफी हाई है, so people are going to invest in your country or export from your country. The reason why net exports can stay the same while imports fall is explained by the change in real exchange rate. When the dollar appreciates in value in the market of foreign currency exchange, domestic goods become more expensive relative to foreign goods. ठीक है, तो domestic goods बहुत ज़्यादा expensive होते हैं और relative to foreign goods. तो यहाँ पे क्या लिखा है कि जब डॉलर, तो देखो इसका ये भी, जब आपके कंट्री का डिमांड बढ़ते जा रहा है एंड सप्लाई कम हो रहा है, तो धीरे धीरे क्या होता है कि जब डिमांड इज सो मच दैट इट कैन नॉट बी मेट, देन योर करेंसीज वैल्यू विल अप्रिशिएट. दैट इज व्हाट हैपेंड हियर इन दिस केस. तो डॉलर की जो वैल्यू है वो अप्रिशिएट कर गई. जब वो अप्रिशिएट कर गई तो वो, अभी मैंने जो पहले बताया था कि पहले $1 में 80 येन देना पड़ता था, अब $1 में 90 येन देना पड़ रहा है. So this appreciation encourages imports and discourages what? Exports. And both of these changes work to offset the direct increase in the net exports. Due to the import quota in the end, and import quota reduces both imports and exports, but net exports are export minus imports are unchanged. We have thus come to a surprising implication. Trade policies do not affect the trade balance. So trade policy हमारे trade balance को affect नहीं करता है. That is, policies that directly influence exports or imports do not alter net exports. हमारा net exports is still constant. अगर एक जगह कुछ कम होता है तो दूसरा जगह वो manage हो जाता है. This conclusion seems less surprising if one recalls the accounting identity. That is, net export is equal to net foreign investment, which is equal to savings plus investment. Net exports equal net foreign investment, which equals national savings minus domestic investment. So trade policies do not alter the trade balance, because see, even if the government is bringing some policy to bring changes in the trade, उससे क्या होगा कि in the end आप जो invest करते हो वो आपकी savings ही होती है. So either you will invest it in the domestic market or you will invest it in the foreign market. तो और आप देख रहे हो कि everything is equal हो रहा है, एंड में सब कुछ इक्वल हो जा रहा है. तो इसीलिए ट्रेड पॉलिसी से ज्यादा कुछ फर्क पड़ेगा नहीं हमारा नेट एक्सपोर्ट्स पे. For given level of national savings and domestic investment, the real exchange rate just to keep the trade balance the same, regardless of the trade policy the government puts in place. Although trade policies do not affect countries' overall trade balance, these policies do affect specific firms, industries, and countries. When the US government imposes an import quota on Japanese car, General Motors has less competition from abroad and they will sell more cars. So General Motors is a company of US. तो अगर जापानीज कार्स नहीं आएंगे यूएस पे, इंपोर्ट कोटा अगर यूएस डाल देती है, तो जनरल मोटर को क्या हो जाता है? फायदा मिल जाता है एंड वो अपनी कार्स की सेल को इंक्रीज कर सकता है डोमेस्टिक मार्केट में. एट द सेम टाइम, बिकॉज द डॉलर हैज अप्रिशिएटेड इन वैल्यू, Boeing, the US aircraft maker, will find it harder to compete with Airbus, the European aircraft maker. And at the same time, देखो अब क्योंकि इम्पोर्ट हो गया, इम्पोर्ट्स पे मना कर दिया है यूएस ने, तो उसकी जो वैल्यू है वो तो इंक्रीज हो गई, क्योंकि यूएस की सप्लाई रुक गई है, इम्पोर्ट पे उसने रोक लगा दी है, तो वो सप्लाई तो कर नहीं रहा है अपनी करेंसी को फॉरेन मार्केट में। तो क्योंकि वो अब यूएस डॉलर की जो वैल्यू है वो इंक्रीज हो गई है, तो ऑब्वियसली जो बोइंग है उसकी एयरक्राफ्ट वो एक्सपेंसिव हो गई है फॉर अदर फॉरेन मार्केट्स। तो अब बोइंग की जगह में जो यूरोपियन कंपनी है उसकी जो एयरक्राफ्ट है उसकी डिमांड बढ़ जाएगी एंड पीपल विल नॉट बाय फ्रॉम यूएस। तो इसमें क्या होगा, यूएस का एक्सपोर्ट घट जाएगा। सो यू कैन सी हाउ थिंग्स आर गेटिंग बैलेंस्ड ऑटोमेटिकली। इसी को कहते हैं हमारा ट्रेड बैलेंस। And here you can buy through this example you can understand कि policies ज्यादा फर्क नहीं डालते हैं हमारे net exports में, and this can be used as a brilliant answer when you are answering your exam paper. This whole explanation is very important from your examination perspective. I think there is one question related to this. One very good important question. Um, you can refer it, you can see, and you can, it's important to understand it, because once you will understand, you can write it in your own word and, in a better way in your answer paper. Even if you don't get any answer online, this is sufficient if you know how to use it. Okay. So at the same time, because the dollar has appreciated in value, Boeing, the US aircraft maker, will find it harder to compete with Airbus, the European aircraft maker. US exports of aircraft will fall and the US import of aircraft will rise. तो आप क्या देखते हो कि यूएस का जो एक्सपोर्ट है एयरक्राफ्ट का वो गिर जाता है एंड यूएस का जो इंपोर्ट है वो राइज हो जाता है. In this case, the import quota on Japanese car will increase net exports of car and decrease net exports of planes. तो यहाँ पे आप देख रहे हो कि Japanese cars और import quota on Japanese car will increase net export of cars. तो cars के exports increase हो जाएंगे and planes के decrease हो जाएंगे and not export actually जो US के जो cars है उनका sell वो बहुत ज्यादा सेल होंगे इन डोमेस्टिक मार्केट बिकॉज नाउ देयर इज नो कंपटीशन फ्रॉम जापानीज कार. इन एडिशन इट विल इंक्रीज नेट एक्सपोर्ट्स फ्रॉम यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स टू जापान एंड डिक्रीज. तो क्या हो रहा है कि जो यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स की कारें वो जापान में जा रहे हैं बट द प्लेन्स ऑफ यूरोप इज नॉट. यूरोप के प्लेन्स अब ज्यादा डिमांड में एज कंपेयर टू अमेरिका's plane. The overall trade balance of the US economy, however, stays the same. The trade balance of US economy stays the same. The effect of trade policy are therefore more microeconomic than macroeconomic. Although advocates of trade policy sometimes claim incorrectly that these policies can alter a country's trade balance, they are usually more motivated by concerns about particular firms or industries. One should not be surprised, for instance, to hear an executive from General Motors advocating import quota for Japanese car. Economists always oppose such trade practices. You see, वैसे तो there should not be any quota on imports because this is not good for international relationship and international trade. But how this can help a domestic firm. अगर मान लीजिए कोटा आ जाता है किसी फॉरेन इंपोर्ट में तो डोमेस्टिक फर्म कैसे फायदा ले सकता है क्योंकि अब उसकी कंपटीशन रही नहीं, तो अब वो अपने कमोडिटीज को बहुत फ्रीली सेल कर सकता है, उसके कमोडिटीज की डिमांड बहुत अधिक बढ़ जाती है. तो इस वे में it helps domestic companies if there is a quota imposed on foreign products. तो यहाँ पे you are seeing a graph वही बता रहा है आपको, रिलेशनशिप बता रहा है in various markets. So more or less it's the same. The market of loanable funds equilibrium पे है. Net foreign investment, the rate is same. Net exports, however, remain the same. And just now, whatever we have discussed is shown in this graph. You can read it and understand कि क्या है नहीं है. The effect of an import quota. See, when the US government imposes a quota on import of Japanese car, nothing happens in the market of loanable funds in panel A. Obviously, यहाँ पे import quota को हो रहा है on Japanese car, so there is no effect on panel 1, that is loanable fund, और to net foreign investment. और net foreign investment में भी ज़्यादा कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा है because import quota हम impose कर रहे हैं. The only effect is a rise in net exports minus imports. Why? Because we are limiting our imports. तो हम ज़्यादा import नहीं कर रहे और हमारा export तो वैसे ही हो रहा है. तो जब हम export को import से minus करेंगे तो अब हमारा import कम है, payment कम है, तो हमारा export will be more. Okay? For any given real exchange rate. As a result, the demand for dollar in the market for foreign currency exchange rises, as shown by the shift from D1 to D2 in panel C. तो obviously हमारा जो demand for dollar होगा वो increase हो जाएगा. The increase in the demand for dollar causes the value of the dollar to appreciate. From E1 to E2, the appreciation of dollar tends to reduce net exports, offsetting the direct effect of the import quota on the trade balance. So this was all for the class. I hope आपको समझ में आया होगा. And if you have any doubt or anything, you can ask if you have any doubt. And this part was very important. It will tell you how government policies, trade policies affects our international trade या फिर exchanges को हमारे affect करता है, interest rate को, exchange rate को, supply and demand for foreign currency and domestic currency. So you have to pay attention on this part. And आप फिर लिख सकते हो कि trade policies कैसे हमारा trade balance को influence करता है. So yeah, thank you. See you in the next class.